Alright, welcome back to the Ultimate Sivir video guide. My name is Rob, aka Memory Lapse, and I call this segment Spellshielding Your Way to Victory. Spellshield I didn't talk about in the original guide too much, specifically because I think it deserves its own spotlight video like this. Spellshield is one of those rare skills in League of Legends that is truly overpowered. And the way that Riot views it as balanced is because even though it is really overpowered, it's hard to use. Spellshield is one of those skills that slips under the radar. It's overpowered and it's allowed to stay that way because it's so hard to time right. That's the risk versus reward. If you screw it up, you leave yourself open because now you've wasted mana. You have no defenses, and your opponent knows you have no defenses, so they can feel free to unload on you without having to worry about getting their spell blocked. So it's a bad scenario. But when used correctly, it's a complete reversal. It's a total reversal. You've got damage incoming, you block that, gain mana overall, and your opponent, in some cases, depending on who it is, like let's say Annie, or a couple other combo type heroes like Rise, if you block their critical spell, like if you block their stun, their whole combo falls apart. And their whole setup, basically everything that their whole game is completely shut down by blocking one critical spell in their combo. So we're going to talk about, in this video, using Spell Shield, how to use Spell Shield during the laning phase. I think that if you learn this, how to use it during the laning phase, the rest of it can come naturally. Like using it during team fights is going to be instinctual. Using it during mid game it's all of that's going to come naturally. Just learn how to use it during the laning phase, and the rest of it will fall into place. So we're going to look at a couple different heroes that you might face mid as Sivir. Okay, now Kassadin is an unconventional mid. He's a hard counter, well not a hard counter, but he's a counter to a lot of ranged DPS heroes, such as Ashe, Misfortune, Corki he can even chase out of a lane. A number of ranged heroes that like to go mid have a hard time with Kassadin. And the way he gets at you is that even though he's a melee hero, his effective range is pretty large because of his W skill, his silence disc. So what he does is right there, like as you can see, he wants to get in close, silence me so that I can't respond, and that translates into damage for him, and no way for some heroes to respond. So what I want to do in response to this is to block as many of these discs as I can. So I'm looking for patterns in his gameplay. So what I want to do is I want to position myself just a little bit outside of his range, his disc range. You know, you got a ballpark idea of about what it is. So position yourself a little bit outside of it, and then when he comes at you, then you know he's going to do it. Like you see, I'm sort of setting him up here. He's dissed me a few times. I'm just waiting for it to come now, and you'll see. Okay, so I'm a little outside his range. Keep yourself outside the range just a little bit, and you're going to try and bait him, and there comes, there's the disc, right? So you just stay outside his range, and your effective range with your boom blade is high. So you can still, you know, feel free to toss in boom blades, use up the mana, you're going to be getting some more. Now you see he hits me while the spell's on cooldown, or while your shield's on cooldown. That's fine, because I'm going to win this game overall. By blocking enough and regenning in between, he's going to waste his mana, and it's just going to be a complete waste for him. All of those spells, all of these discs that I'm blocking, these are last hits that he's not getting. So I'm in mana that he's wasting. So this entire time while Spell Shield is on cooldown, I'm just playing my normal game, getting last hits where I can, pretty much just waiting for the cooldown to come back up so that I can get back in his range and bait him into another reversal. So let's see if I can do that right here. Let's see me getting closer to him, but I'm still in range to block. Yep, there you go, there it goes. So you wait for it to cool down, play your game normal, you know, and watch it get inside his head. Now he's so frustrated here because Kassadin is usually dominating mid by this point. He's chased somebody out of a lane, or he's hurting somebody to the point where they're thinking about maybe going back to base or something like that. But that's not happening here because I've blocked everything he's thrown at me, or just enough to keep me full health. So, and you know, you take that mana, you turn it against him. You know, you boom blade where you can, when you can, get your last hits, frustrate him, and you know, you'll see the results here build up over time. I mean, even right now, we're still pretty early on to into the phase. Now, just take a look at the situation. Kassadin is sitting there, almost no mana, half health. I've got plenty of mana and regen, plenty of health coming back. So, you know, this is a good situation for me, and especially with Kassadin being an aggressive sort of hero that a lot of aggressive people like to take. This is a good setup. So I popped my potion there. I'm getting close to my chalice money, so I tend to play a little loose in that scenario. I see my Spellshield's on cooldown. I got near him. It baited him into the easy block of a disc. Gives me some mana, and you know, just turn it against him. You know, block it. Cast a boom blade right there. Try and get some last hits. Hit him too if I can. Whittle him down. Now look at the score. I'm still full health. He's got no mana. I've got full mana now, basically. And, you know, what's he going to do to me here? Nothing. This lane is completely won. And he was sent to counter someone like me, a ranged DPS, and he completely failed. All because of blocked spells with Spellshield. Now, if I hadn't blocked all of those, let's say I was one of those Sivir players that doesn't use Spellshield, or you know, doesn't like it, doesn't level it up, whatever, saves it to the last. This lane could have gone completely different. He could have easily hit me fast enough, but way more than I can regen, and chase me out of the lane, because I can't stop his Qs coming in other than Spellshield. And he's so frustrated at this point. He wants to hit me so bad. He comes at me with no hope, even though he doesn't know Amuma's coming for him right there. He came at me with no hope of really doing anything to me. He had popped his ghost. He thought he could hurt me a little bit, then run away. But he was frustrated by the whole process. All of the spell shields got into his head. He was mad. He's used to chasing people out of the lane. Here I am. I was about to chase him back to base, and he was pissed. Okay, so that's basically how you lane against Kassadin. And you can take what you learned in this video and apply it to a lot of different heroes. Let's take Ashe, for example. Ashe, in place of the disc, Ashe will be casting her volley at you. And the way Ashe wants to time her volley is so that she can hit you and last hit some creeps at the same time. That's what Ashe players should be trying to do. So if you know that, and if you're standing around creeps that are low hit points, and you know Ashe has her thing up, you can pretty much anticipate that there's going to be a volley coming in. Go ahead and throw it up, you know, and try and block it. So that's the idea. But you know, it's not just Ashe though. The same thing applies to Misfortune with double up. The same thing applies to Corgi. The same thing applies to Vlad, especially. You get the idea. These ranged heroes that are so used to poking and driving people out of their lane, you can be a counter to them, and you can use Spellshield to dominate your lane. So practice, 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 and don't be afraid of missing these things. At the beginning of this, you're going to miss them. Like, you're going to cast it way too early. You're going to be trying to anticipate. You're going to cast it way too early. Don't worry about it. Just keep going. Even if they laugh at you, call you noob, whatever. Every time you're doing it, you're getting a little bit better. And eventually, you're going to get it so that you can block these things pretty regularly. And once you get to that point, you've opened up a whole new aspect of Sivir's gameplay. So that's basically what you want to try and accomplish with Spellshield, and what you're trying, how to use Spellshield to make you a better Sivir player overall. So that's basically all I got, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next segment.